I already know it. I know we about to shine, cause we already glowing. To get all this.
Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And
And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid. We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I'm excited. Because it's time for TNA, the Impact Wrestling version, the review of that TNA show that happened on 6/28/2016. This show was pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it went well. I did think the opening segment was kind of awkward. I don't know what it was. It just felt like off to me for some reason. But other than that, I liked the show. I thought it had its big matches on it, so it kind of had, something for you to tune in for. I like that. But any overall thoughts before we jump into this review, Casey?
It was something about, I don't know. Maybe last week's was just really good, and I was expecting something better. It wasn't a bad show. It was just I walked away from it kind of, I don't know. TNA sucks.
All right then.
I felt like that was the internet fan response that I was supposed to give.
But did you watch the show though? Because most of the time that's how you're supposed to not watch the show and then say, that's how that works. I'm just saying, like,
what if I watched like half the show?
Kinda. You like half of an internet fan, like halfway.
Okay.
But we started out with a segment with I'm pretty sure it was what was his first segment? My notes are gone and I'm upset. I'm crying inside. But this first segment, it was basically setting up the main event. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Right?
It was the Miracle. The Miracle was there. Yeah,
he was there. He was talking about winning the X Division title, wanting to basically, cash in Destination X, or cash in the option C portion at Destination X. And then he got put in a match, right? Am I wrong? No, he got put in a match. Yeah, he got put in that X Division title match. It was the Battle Royal. They had a Battle Royal with all X Division stars. And then he got put in the match.
I don't think he was in the match. It was just for.
No, he wasn't in the match. He faced the. He's got to face the winner.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But I enjoyed the segment though. I thought it was
We totally watched TNA. We have no idea what happened when we watched it.
We didn't watch it. We just like acting like we reviewing it. We just acting like we know. That's how that works. Maria does, mention that they're still planning on that Dixie Carter's not here this week, type thing. So, they're going with that. But, I thought this was a pretty good, first segment. Lashley would come out to kind of refute what Bennett was saying, because Bennett's talking about how he's gonna, be the greatest world champion, and he is like this, like I guess savior and whatnot is what they're trying to book him as. So. He's really like playing off of that a little bit. Lashley comes out, and kind of punks him down a little bit. Any thoughts on this first segment?
It was so good. It was real good. It was good, and then Lashley came out, and he sucked out all the charisma out of the room. People was falling asleep. It was boring. Hashtag we hate Lashley. Trending worldwide. Hashtag I don't know. I was going to do something with snoring and Lashley, but I couldn't make it work.
Lashley? I didn't like Lashley this week either. In my opinion, I didn't think it was that. I thought it felt awkward. I think this entire first segment to me felt awkward. I don't know. EC3 wasn't hitting on much this week. Bennett was like the only one to me, and Rabbit would like be so mad at me for this. But Bennett to me was the only one really hitting on anything. Billy Corgan would come out and he would kind of, you know, he would basically, he would set the matchup, set the X Division number one contenders matchup. I mean, he looked a little more comfortable this week. I don't know if he was like, he wasn't like, my name is Billy, William, William as they call him now. Why do they call the man William? I don't understand. But anyway,
I feel like that might have been what it was. It just felt like nobody really gave a shit this week. Like they were just kind of going on autopilot and like not putting like 100% into what they were doing. It felt like to me, even to an extent like the Hardy segment kind of just didn't feel like they were 100% into it. But we'll get to Matt Hardy. It brokener, more broken.
Yeah. I was excited about Matt Hardy though. I was watching the show when I guess we'll just jump to that now. I was actually watching that part and I was on in a call with Casey and Casey hadn't watched the show yet. Matt Hardy comes out in the wheelchair. He comes out in a wheelchair, and I'm like, he's even more broken, Casey. He's even more broken. And then him and Jeff go back and forth, and they talk about how it just needs to end. It needs to end, which I don't know if it's ever gonna end, right? Doesn't seem like it that it's ever gonna end, but basically, I don't know. It was weird. Like basically, he gets up, and just beats down Jeff Hardy. Just beats him down. Like, and I was like, he's healed. He's healed. It's a miracle. Where's Mike Bennett? I was like, Mike Bennett is up there pointing. He's pointing at Matt Hardy, throwing those miracles all around. But I enjoyed I kind of enjoyed the Hardy segment. But I'm weird and I like the Hardys. I don't know what it was. I just liked it because it played off of the fact that if Matt Hardy loses, he should become more broken. And technically the wheelchair and everything, he technically was more broken. But I enjoyed it though. I thought it was, it was nice. Rebby did some good things. Rebby, I mean, Casey, I fall in love with her the more I see her. I kind of wish she wasn't married. But anyway, any more thoughts on the the Hardy segment?
Just a little bit of an issue. Just a little speed bump in your love tour. How's JoJo, by the way? Yeah, it wasn't that I didn't like this segment. I felt like the talking part of the segment promo kind of felt lacking a little bit. But when he got up out of the chair and everything, it was like, oh my God, and killed Jeff Hardy. He'll be up in like 5 minutes. He'll be fine. That was cool. It's kind of one of those feuds where you're like, is it ever gonna end? But if it doesn't, at least it's working, so we're entertained. Yay! Also, I've noticed that every time Matt Hardy gets more broken, his accent changes just a little bit. It's a little bit different than it's been in past weeks. It's changing. So the more you break Matt Hardy, the more his accent changes. So I say we break him more. I want to see, I want to see what accents we get out of him. Like, pretty sure if we break him enough, it'll be like a Japanese accent. Funaki, #1 announcer.
I did like too. This, this segment ended basically with Matt Hardy saying the final deletion, as he says a lot, of Jeff Hardy will be at Cameron, North Carolina, So I'm wondering what show they have at Cameron that's coming up, or in North Carolina in general. I don't know if they're gonna do some kind of segment like in that weird ring they had at Matt Hardy's estate, or what. Like I don't know if that's like what they're going for here, or that's what's gonna happen with that. But I'm kind of wondering, like, because it makes you think now, because TNA doesn't really move out of the Impact Zone too much anymore. So I'm kind of wondering when this show is. I don't think it's gonna be Bound for Glory. It doesn't seem that way, just because Bound for Glory last year was in Cameron or Charlotte. So I wouldn't. Do you have any ideas for maybe when that show is going to be? It's going to be like a Hardy's Revenge or something. The Hardy's Revenge pay per view in Cameron. I think it's going to happen. I see it.
That's exactly what I'm predicting. It's going to be the Hardy's Revenge Impact special events. Yeah, I don't know, because they do have like the televised pay-per-views now, where we only really have 2 pay-per-views, so it's probably going to be one on one of those shows, but I don't know. I'll have to look and see if I see Cameron. I mean, or like you said, they could just be in North Carolina and happen to have a segment at the Hardy estate or whatever,
Yeah, I agree. All right, so next we got Eli Drake. Talking in the fact of life. I thought it was funny how he hid behind his podium and introduced himself. Thought that was funny. Eli Drake reminds me a lot of like EC3 as a heel to a certain degree, like with his trolling abilities. Like he'll tell you one thing and then tell you to shut up, which is kind of it does like reek of The Rock a little bit. You know how The Rock he had his whole catchphrases, but when he was a heel, like you would say the catchphrases with him, but he really didn't want you. Like he would make sure to tell you, this isn't what would he used to say? This isn't sing along with the champ or whatever. And that's kind of how I feel like Eli Drake's doing. They'll start to do that the dummy chant just because he hits the button, and he'll tell them, no, 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 no. But I enjoyed the segment with James Storm coming out. So I guess that's maybe his next kind of rival. James Storm wants to bring this into like a drinking game. How many every time you hit the button, take a drink. Casey, did you try it? Did you try it? I could have clued you in.
I did.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoy the segment. I think Storm and Eli Drake, they really they feed off each other really well. It's kind of that feud where Storm's been here forever, and Drake, he's got experience on him, but he hasn't been here like nearly as long as Storm. So I like this. I hope they keep this going. Give Eli Drake something to do and a good worker to work with, because I think Storm is one of the most underrated workers. He just doesn't get a lot of credit just because. But I'm definitely liking it. Any thoughts on the fact of life this week?
I definitely liked it with James Storm. I love the jug of water that they're making jokes about. And then when James Storm is like, all right, instead of taking a drink every time you hit that buzzer, how about I slap the piss out of you every time you hit that buzzer? I was like, yeah, do it. That was great. But it's definitely a good segment, and they should have a good feud or a couple matches, depending on what they do with them. Yeah.
All right, we got a little bit of a little update with the Bram Rosemary situation, or Bram Decay situation more so. Rosemary just trying to get into his head a little bit. She was sitting on the man's lap though. So Casey, I'm gonna need you to talk to your girl. I guess it might be cool though. Because she's doing it for the business. It's in storyline. It's nothing like legit or nothing. So. I'm not sure though. I have to cater to my co-host on that one. Any thoughts on Bram maybe letting the decay or the Rosemary happen?
Listen, like I said, last week, I am the next member of the Decay. This is just like trying to get you to think one thing and then a surprise, kind of like a swerve. So it's all planned out, and we were planning on having Bram kind of be the decoy, so you think it's him, and I was cool with that. I was cool with that, but wifey been taking it too far, and I've been talking to her about it. I was like, yo, you need to stop touching that man so much and being all over him. And like I was like, I'm not cool with it. I get that it's a storyline, but I'm not cool with it. And she keep telling me, she goes stop. And then she did this, and can we move on?
All right. We got an X Division title. Number one contenders battle royal, followed by an X Division championship match. I thought this was a nice little small style battle royal with DJZ, Braxton Sutter, my boy, Pepper Potts, man. The Skywalker, Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, Eddie Edwards, Rockstar Spud, and Mandrews. I was excited to see Rockstar Spud though. He's really. I wish they would have played off of his feud with or something they're doing with Braxton Sutter. I think that's kind of an issue with me in a match like this, because a lot of times TNA's been really good like recently with doing like infusing those feuds into the big matches. So I'm surprised they didn't do anything with this, where like Rockstar Spud comes and attacks him or something instead of Braxton Sutter did win. My boy Pepper Parks, he got the win. He did win, but I was just surprised that they didn't have anything with Spud and him. They did it with the Helms Dynasty, which isn't going to start anything. It's not really going to start anything between them. The more serious feud with Sutter is with Spud. So, any thoughts on the Battle Royal? Where my boy Braxton Sutter, he got the win, baby. Pepper Potts, man, he's soon to be TNA. Oh.
He was excited about Spud, huh? Huh? I was here when you was watching that match. Whole damn match, all I heard was Pepper Potts, yeah. Oh no, not Pepper Potts. Oh, Pepper Potts. I didn't hear anything about anyone else in this match. Not Rockstar Spud, not man.
I mean, it was only 7 Pepper Potts. Like either way, he was gonna win. Like the odds was in his favor.
See, I was completely different in this match. I was excited, there was so many good guys in this match, and I was like, anybody but Pepper Potts. Anybody but BS Braxton Sutter. I was ready for anybody to win this match. Roman Reigns could come out and not win this match, because anyone but Roman too. But no, I thought this was good. I feel like anytime you get any sort of X Division battle royal or anything like that, it's definitely a good thing, just because like we've talked about in past weeks, NXT is, or not NXT, I'm thinking about WWE now. TNA does kind of have a shortage of X Division stars, even though technically they shouldn't, because the X Division was built on not about weight limits but no limits. So technically anybody could be an X Division star, but still it is sort of considered now, without guys like Samoa Joe and them, it is kind of now considered more of a cruiserweight division, I feel like. But they don't have many stars like that.
But technically, hasn't it always, like, besides Samoa Joe, hasn't it always technically kind of been? Like, when you think about the size, like, besides Samoa Joe, when you think about the size of people who won the X Division title match, or X Division title, It has kind of always been like technically a cruiserweight division, even though they promote the no limits thing.
Bro, I'm pretty sure.
Am I wrong?
I'm pretty sure Abyss won the X Division title, or at least was in an X Division match a couple of times. So,
but I'm just saying, but but when you think about the people who've held the title, am I wrong though? Because I'm not, and that's why you trying to throw Abyss out here. Because I get it, he's beautiful. Like I've seen it with my own two eyes, But anyway, all right. So Braxton Sutter gets the win here, and then he gets attacked by the Helms Dynasty, and then we get a quick match with the Miracle Mike Bennett versus Braxton Sutter. I was real sad. I cried a little bit. I did, because I was like, "Come on, Braxton, you can kick out, baby. You can kick out, baby." But I definitely, I thought this was, it did what it was supposed to do. Keep the title on Bennett. Was what I was thinking, but Sutter did try to get him with an inside cradle early on, try to get that win. I was like, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, and then he didn't get it, and I was like, no. But I thought the match wasn't terrible. But it was basically, it did what it was supposed to do. Any thoughts on your still? That doesn't sound Bennett, and he beat my boy.
all I really have to say is Braxton Sutter, back of the line, kid. Good luck next time. Good job to the Helms Dynasty for putting that man down. Where he belongs. He needs to be humble. All right, and he need to work his way up. You don't just get the title. You gotta earn it, and you didn't earn it. Okay, so maybe you train a little bit more. You take a couple more jobber matches, and maybe
it's funny though. It's funny though. I'm gonna cut you off right there, Casey, because it's funny. You love Mandrews, don't you? But it's funny that I ain't seen him get anywhere close to a sniff of the X Division title. Now he has had his matches. He has. But he ain't got. I mean, my boy had a near fall in this match. He had the nearest of falls. I would have took the inside cradle win.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off right there. That's because Mandrews knows he gotta earn his way up. He gotta take all those small matches. It may take 3 to
Wait now. Small matches? How about no matches? I haven't seen Mandrews in like a month. This is the first match I've seen in a while. So how about no matches?
Bro, he been all around the world wrestling, and you know what Pepper Potts been trying to get $5 out of little kids. Yeah. Does he feel proud of himself? Taking
You are not a little kid, Casey. You are not. Anyway, let's jump into we got Mahabali Shera Grado, and Tyrus versus the Tribunal and Al Snow. The segment before this, I didn't catch the segment, but as I'm looking at this, it basically Tyrus is just the guy you just pay to do. But I mean, I like money too, Tyrus. I do, but I don't understand, man. But I hope they do something with Tyrus, man. I want them to do something with him. Because I'm just tired of him being like the hired gun. I like the nickname, but I'm tired of him being the hired gun. Like I'm tired of him being like the bodyguard. I just want them to do something with him. I would be fine with him getting some sort of run with something, anything. But then we go into a match with the Tribunal and Al Snow, which I thought was funny because I didn't see the segment before. So I was like, why is Al Snow in wrestling tights? Why? And then they were going up against Mahabali Shera, Grado, and Tyrus. So I guess that hasn't ended quite yet. I thought this match was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. It was cool to see the Tribunal some more. I enjoy them. Al Snow, Al, Al Snow, just makes me laugh. But the Tribunal and Al Snow do end up winning this match. I'm just wondering, what's the plan with Tyrus? Any thoughts on the 6-man tag match?
I missed the segment before this too, so I was kind of in the dark about Tyrus. And then when he came out as their third partner, I was like, bruh, we literally just talked about this last week, how we could see Tyrus having a push. They just need to stop using him as the hired gun or the bodyguard or, somebody's like sidekick. And they do it again. And it's not even to somebody like EC3 who you could see like him paying him off, or Matt Hardy who you could see him paying him off.
But Grado got that. He got that. ICW money. That's what it is.
That man got a fanny pack. He got like $12 in that fanny pack.
anyway, let's just jump into the main event. Actually, we had a little segment with Mike Bennett, and him being, basically just talking about how it was rough. The match tonight, it was, whew, he was winded. I could see it in his eyes. I could feel it, but he was all right. He said, "I'm ready to cash in option C. I'm ready." He said he's gonna call out Billy Corgan to cash it in next week. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen with that. I'm kind of curious because I know Eddie Edwards has the title now. But I don't know how. I think Justin told me this because Justin and spoilers are like they're like connected. But I'm pretty sure. I'm wondering if Eddie Edwards is gonna like come in and like cash his rematch clause, because has he had his rematch clause yet against Bennett?
I don't think so.
I don't either. So I'm wondering if like next week he's gonna like cash that in, and then I guess we'll see what happens with the option C thing. That'll because I feel like that'll bring some intrigue to the X Division a little bit. Because if Eddie Edwards wins the title back, then Mike Bennett's like, oh god, like what is Mike Bennett gonna do? And then like, will Eddie Edwards actually cash in? Because I think it's kind of more of a surprise. It's kind of more unpredictable if Eddie Edwards gets that title back. But any thoughts on any of those things with the X Division and the championship and all that?
I feel like it is a little bit weird that Edward Edwards, I'm gonna call him that from now on, Edward Edwards, has not got his rematch clause yet. Maybe it's just a WWE thing where you get it like the night after you lose the title.
As soon as you lose it, you get it. It's like they're like, just go back out there and you get your rematch.
Yeah. But this kept me thinking. Well, this whole time when they've been talking about option C, especially tonight, got me thinking about again us talking last week about the X Division title and how we were kind of on both sides. We kind of like option C because it makes, in a way, it makes the title feel more important. But at the same time, I feel like it takes importance away from the title. Like, it's just, it doesn't, there's no, I feel like it takes away pride in having that title anymore. It's just, okay, I have this, so I'm just going to, hand this in for a shot at the title. So it's kind of, I don't know. I liked it, when Aries kind of started it. It was something new. It was something unique. I know a lot of fans probably do like the option C thing, but I think they need to take that away and build up more importance to the X Division title again.
Because I think the thing is, because Rabbit last week was talking about how option C gives people who you wouldn't expect to get a chance. But two, I feel like wouldn't Feast or Fire do the same thing and not take away from anything? Like Feast or Fire would do that same exact
Yeah,
that same exact thing to me.
and Feast or Fired, it kind of like it takes Money in the Bank and makes it even better because all of the titles have a briefcase. It's not just the world title. So it kind of, you have that chance to win, the tag team or the X division or the world title contract or the pink slip. You don't want that.
I would like to see them because I think having Feast or Fired, the fired part kind of puts them in a hole a little bit, to a certain degree, just because like if they're not really getting fired, then what do you do? Or if they're not really leaving, usually they use it for people who are their contract is expiring, so you might as well use it in that way. So I'm wondering if they like because I think because now they have an extra title, will they change that and put like another title briefcase in there? Or
they,
what were you saying?
they could add another briefcase and just still have the Feast or Fired, because I feel like even if you don't have somebody that's their contract is coming up, if no one's leaving, you could still do like a storyline firing, kind of like they sort of did with Grado. They don't technically have to be fired, just kind of storyline fire them, and then they find a way back in the company or something like that. I mean, WWE has storyline fired people hundreds of times. So I feel like you don't have that doesn't necessarily have to put them in a hole or in a corner. They could still get around that.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's jump into the main event of the evening. Lashley versus EC3 versus Drew Galloway for the world title. The only thing I didn't like about this is that, and this was just a consistency issue with me, and they've been doing so good from storyline wise, like just being consistent. And Lashley all last week, and maybe even the week before, was talking about how he has so much control, and how he's got all the cards are in his hand and whatever, and he gets put in like the worst situation possible, which is a triple threat match. I was just wondering about that. I was like, wait, like he just said like he has all this control and like he's the one that has the mind games and whatnot. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because I was like, they played on that so much last week and then didn't use it at all this week. I mean, like even if he would have been like, I can just walk out and not defend my title. Like even if he would have been like that, like I can go home and go celebrate now or something. Like they didn't play on that at all this week. They just kind of threw the triple threat match out there.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like he would be the kind of champion that would do that, like the heel champion who just walks out and gets that count out. And it's weird that they kind of didn't even tease that. It didn't feel like I
know it's hard to do it with like a triple threat, but I feel like he even if they would have did something where like he like just tries to leave or something and like somebody like has to go get him or something, like any, I feel like they could have played that any type of way just to keep that in the back of your mind that he does hold all the cards, because really like this match to me was random because it felt like we were just going to get two singles matches. And two, this was told over Twitter, by TNA's Twitter and everything. So I was just kind of confused on why they didn't play on that any. But anyway, this is definitely a match I have to go back and watch again because I enjoyed watching it, but I definitely want to watch it again. Lashley playing those mind games, just kind of hanging out outside the ring, playing that Kevin Owens card. I really wish he'd start back doing that again. But I thought the match was good. I enjoyed it. I think we've seen this match a lot though. It seems like especially for Lashley. For some reason, I feel like Lashley's been in every triple threat match ever that TNA's like ever had. Like it feels like he's been in so many triple threat matches. It's not even funny. I don't know why it feels that way, but like I always feel like he's been in like every triple threat match I have ever watched in my life, because like he always seems to be in one. But I definitely, I enjoyed the match. It had the same, type of spots that it always has. But I always feel like for TNA, the world title picture is the most consistent, from a consistency and storytelling to a certain degree, and just the in ring product is always really has always been good, just over the years. But I'm enjoying what's going on with the world title picture. I think this kind of this kind of still plays off of the EC3 versus Galloway thing. I think they're going to play on, kind of, have something play off with that. Um, I don't know if they're pushing Mike Bennett to the moon yet, because I was thinking maybe he cashes in option C. Lashley finds a way to win, kind of like a screwy type way to win or something, and then they create a feud off of that. Because I really don't know, who's Lashley's next opponent is. Because I think we see that EC3 and Galloway are going to branch off to, feud against each other. But I'm wondering about what they're going to do with Lashley. But any thoughts on the main event of the evening?
I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. Like we were saying, it was just kind of weird that he didn't play off of, having all that power, and at least teasing walking out or something like that. Also, just personally for me, I kind of would have liked to have seen like Mike Bennett come out to maybe tease, a cash in. Again, that's one thing that I don't like about. Another thing that I don't like about Option C is like with also with Feast or Fired, but with Money in the Bank, you can come out and cash in anytime. So you get those teasers, kind of like we got with Seth Rollins, where he would come out and kind of tease cashing in, and it kind of builds up that suspense. But I feel like we don't really get that with Option C or with Feast or Fired. It's always, okay, I'm going to cash in next week, so you're expecting it. I feel like they need to add that kind of unpredictability more to it. Because like I said, I think something like that, would kind of cause a distraction in the match, which could kind of then Lashley could also, almost get pinned and almost lose the title there, and it kind of gets in his head, and he loses the title because he sucks. But I don't know. I just kind of I think it would have been cool to see at least like a tease of either him walking out or Bennett coming out, something like that, because obviously Bennett wants to cash in for the world title. So why not have him come out during the main event and kind of, at least watch or something or tease or something to get me interested in.
Even if they would have put him, well, I don't know if they could have put him on commentary, just because they're not, they're not out there. But they could have taped that one to where they were out there and they put him on commentary or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they could have did something like that. But the one match we did miss, I don't know how I missed this. I think I scrolled down too far. Sienna versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. I don't know how I missed that. But I thought this match went pretty well. Freaking Allie reminds me so much of the Byron from Medea, from that Medea movie. Freaking all the time when she comes out and she's like, what did she say? Attention! Like every time I get that Byron, I get that every time when I hear that. But I thought this match was pretty good. Sienna, you got to work on the pounce, bro. You got to. I see, and that's what I'm saying. Monty Brown, I seen 2 pounces in 2 shows this week, and they want Monty Brown. I think he's coming back. I think it's confirmed. Due to this, I think that's what it is. He's coming back. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was pretty good. With Gail Kim and Allie. I just want not Allie, Gail Kim and Sienna. I just want to see. I want them to do something with Sienna to make her feel like she's that dominating force. She just doesn't. I don't know if it's changing her hair. I feel like the all black attire works. The peacock whatever that is. Yeah. That thing, I think that works, but I think there's something missing. I don't know if it's her talking more or what it is, or a building of a character or something, but like there's something missing. Um, Also, Jade got involved in this match. Jade and Marty Bell got involved. So kind of just continuing that feud. She was basically Jade came out to kind of help out with Allie, and then Marty Bell came out to basically just ruin Jade. But any thoughts on the Knockouts title match?
I'm surprised you didn't say anything about Jade and pants.
I mean, I did. I thought about it. You know.
I was more interested in is Jade okay? Is the booty okay? Do I need to break up a fight between Jade and Marty Bell? Because I could do that. I'm certified in the breaking up of the women's. I could do it. I know where to put my hands and where not to put my hands. I can do it with that. Anyway, yeah, there was a match here too that had happened, but I thought it was a good match. But like you were saying with Sienna, still, I feel like they're kind of going in the right direction. She is seeming a little bit meaner, I guess. Before she just kind of, I don't want to say she seemed too nice, but there wasn't that mean streak. I didn't feel like. I feel like she's getting a little bit more of a mean streak, that heel kind of look to her. But there's still just something there that I don't know what exactly it is that she needs. But there's
one thing I think that would help her, and that would help just heels in general, especially these dominating heels, is attack everyone. Because if Marty Bell comes out and like it seems like she's sticking her nose in your business, I feel like you would attack her too, even though you're a heel, she's a heel. But like it's not like all like pinkies up with all the heels or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to be like they're all just like friends. They all just go out and they grab a beer or a wine or whatever these heels drink. Anyway, like I just feel like if she attacked people a little bit more, that would help. Just attack everyone. Like I want to be like walking out of my house and Sienna hit me with the pounce and I like die. That's what needs to happen. She needs to just attack everyone. They're gonna be a little baby. She's gonna be running, in the store, and Sienna just gonna come out of nowhere. Like that's heel heat right there. TNA, book it. Pounce in the baby.
That is child abuse and possible murder. Dead.
Anyway, I mean, it could be Maxwell. She can pounce Maxwell. He can defend himself because he the TNA champion and all that. I saw him get that pin on that dude. I saw it. But anyway, that was your TNA Impact Wrestling review for 6/28/2016, I think. But I felt like the show, it wasn't bad. I think a lot of people have said they liked this week better than last week. I think I liked last week better than this week. I think I'm switching it up. I like last week better than I like this week, and I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I definitely enjoyed the show. I thought it was good. Any final thoughts on TNA besides go follow the Twitter and subscribe and the stuff we say all the time?
Dummy, yeah.
All right, that worked. But like always, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. It's another thing. Give us a like if you like the video. If you don't, give us a like anyway, because you like the video. Then be sure to comment. I think I didn't say that already. Hopefully speaking of TNA, hopefully we got a interview coming up with Aiden O'Shea on Tuesday. That's the plan. That's the goal. Aiden O'Shea, Jay Bradley. You know, we gonna ask him. We gonna be like, we gonna be real with him. Where you at, bruh? You know, we gonna be real. We gonna be like, bruh. Where you at? Cause I mean, he feels the same way. From what I've seen from his tweets, he's like, I don't know why I ain't on the show. So you know, we'll talk to him though. You know, we're excited. I don't know where I went just now. I think I disappeared. But anyway, I'm gonna come back. I'm coming back. I promise. Y'all can't keep this face away from. Darn it.
You said too much. TNA took you down.
That's what it was. TNA taking me out, bro. TNA is taking me out. You know what? I ain't even coming back. I ain't even coming back. I quit. I'm hacking back in. I'm hacking back in, baby. I'm hacking back in. But be sure to subscribe, you know, to us, and you know, we'll see you guys later. We will. That's about it. That's about all I got for you. Bye. Peace.